Social Values, the official pre-orientation session for the Korea Youth Summit 2026. But before we start, let me introduce myself first. My name is Karisma. I'm from Indonesia actually, and I'll be guiding you today as your Master of Ceremony and moderator. And we are really happy to have all of you as a participants and joining us from different countries and backgrounds. But okay, so please help us to write your name and country in the comment section. Or anyone want to introduce yourself and open your cameras here so we can know each other's maybe? Okay, so there is a Carolina from Mexico, Rahana from Pakistan, or maybe Mr. Bel Army, you want to introduce yourself here? Okay, so anyone from Burundi? Okay, so thank you everyone to have you here, and it's always exciting to see how diverse this space is. So actually, I would like to introduce the today's event. So today's is important because understanding current culture goes beyond theory. It affects how you communicate, show respect, and how you adapt in real life, for especially during our Korea Youth Summit in February 2026. Now, without further ado, please introduce our speaker today. So here is Miss Catherine Andrea. Hello, Miss Catherine.
Hello, Karisma. Hello, guys. Welcome to today's presentation. So glad to see many people from around the world. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Miss Catherine, for the opening. And she is actually our event director of Youth Break the Boundaries, and she will be sharing insight on current culture and social values that will be essential for your experience on our event in February. So please give her a warm virtual welcome by clicking the interaction of applause hands. Anyone, please? Okay, without any time, so the floor is yours, Miss Catherine.
Okay, thank you, Karisma, once again for the warm welcome. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, everyone. Once again, let me introduce myself. My name is Kevin Andrea, and I'm from the event director team of Youth Break the Boundaries. And today I will be giving you a presentation about understanding Korean culture and also social values. Okay, so this pre-orientation for today is a special design to help you guys to be able to adapt to local norms in South Korea and also to be able to communicate with a sense of respect and also to maintain the high standards of the basic behavior and mannerism that is expected in South Korea. And from that, we can ensure you to have a deeply meaningful experience at the Korea Youth Summit 2026. Okay, and we can go to the next slide. Okay, and in today's presentation, we will be covering some main points. The first one is about understanding Korean culture and social values, and then about adapting to local norms and daily behavior, and also about promoting respect, cleanliness, and cultural awareness, and also about preparing participants for a meaningful Korea Youth Summit experience by a brief rundown explanation for the day of the Youth Summit. Okay, next. Okay, the first one is why understanding Korean culture matters. Okay, you can go to the next slide. Okay, you guys might wonder like why in today's pre-orientation we want to focus heavily on Korean culture. So it is because in Korea and culture is not just like a collection of historical tradition of or like words in books, but it is the blueprint, it is the foundation of the daily behavior of Korean locals. So by understanding these nuances, by understanding the importance of this Korean culture, you guys will be able to adapt quickly to the new surroundings that you will be seeing in South Korea. You guys could also communicate respectfully with the locals. And the most important thing from understanding this Korean culture, you guys can also avoid misunderstanding that can arise from these cultural differences. And this foundation allows you guys to also build a genuine and lasting connection with your peers and hosts, and also with the locals that you will meet at the Korea Youth Summit 2026. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, now talking about Korean cultures, we will be talking about the Korean society as a whole and what is the core social values in this Korean society. And in Korean social interaction, there is like four main points that I think are very important that are integrated in Korean everyday social behavior and interaction. The first one is respect, and there's collectivism and harmony, and there's discipline and responsibility, and also there's politeness. And for the respect itself, this one is particularly towards the elders and those in senior position, like someone, if you guys know about this, like in Korea, the sense of seniority is still very much prominent. It's not like in other countries we don't expect respect our elders, but like respecting elders in Korea is much more like a cultural thing. Like when you speak in Korean, there's like a certain honorifics, or there's like a certain form of language that you have to use when you speak with the elders, and also there's a certain behavior or mannerism that you have to be able to give when you are communicating with the Korean elders. And also for collectivism and harmony, it is more about prioritizing the needs and peace of the group over the individual, because in the Korean society itself, like the sense of family or like the sense of collectivism and group harmony is still very much present. And for discipline and responsibility, it is about taking personal ownership of your action and how they affect society, like your public mannerism on how, or again, how you talk to your elders or how you behave in the public setting. And for politeness, it is to ensure all communication that you made in Korea is courteous and considerate. Like, again, how you use certain honorifics when you speak, or like a certain mannerism. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, as I've mentioned before, respect is one of like the main points, like the core of Korean social interaction. And by this respect is considered as like the cornerstone of Korean society, because it is heavily emphasis, especially it heavily emphasis on like age and seniority. So in this respect aspect in Korean social interaction, I think there's like the most important things like in these three main points. It is body language, the language itself, and also the social etiquette. So for like the body language, like the most prominent body language that often used in Korea that shows the sense of respect is bowing. Like this is like the most fundamental signs of respect. Like you can bow when you greet with like a senior or peer, or like doing a slight bow or side bow, and it shows you that you acknowledge their presence and their status as a senior. And I think other examples that I can give you about this body language of bowing is, if you guys are into like the K-pop scenes in Korea, you guys probably have watched like some award shows, right? And you will often notice like the younger group, like in those award shows, they will, when they pass like their seniors, they will bow. Now that's showing the kind of it is a body language of respect that often used in Korea. And for the language itself, as I mentioned before, Korea uses like a very kind of complex system of like honorifics and also formal languages. And also, and for that, as a visitor, using polite expression, like for example, like saying thank you, 감사합니다, it goes a long way. And from my personal experience, like I have learned the Korean language like briefly before. If you compare it to like other language, it is a kind of like an easier language to learn. But what it makes it tricky is like that use of honorifics, and there's like many forms of words that can be used in formal and informal way, and that's what makes it a little bit difficult. Like, and for like example, again, like using expressing a thank you, like we usually use 감사합니다. Like it's the most we often use that to express thank you. Like there's other form and other way to say thank you, like gomawo. But if if we compare those two, like 감사합니다 and gomawo, when you talk to someone that you, for example, someone that you never met before or someone older than you, it is better if you use 감사합니다 because it is in the formal form of saying thank you. So it will show more respect because gomawo is kind of like an informal way to show thank you. So that's another example of how language can be a sign of respect in Korea. And for the last one is social etiquette. So for example, like in a group setting, again, if there's someone older than you have to let them speak first. Like if you are in a meeting with your seniors, you have to let them speak first. And this etiquette, this mannerism, it demonstrates your awareness of the social order and your respect for their experience as someone as a senior. And other example that I can give you is if you go out like with your Korean friends, like if you're going out to get a drink, for example, and if someone sitting in front of you is like someone's older than you, when you drink, you kind of have to face another direction. You can just like drink in front of them. It is because it is considered not polite in a way because someone's in front of you is older. So the social etiquette that you can show respect to them is by looking another way and then you drink. That's another example of social etiquette that express sign of respect. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, now another important thing, that another aspect that is very much still connected with like Korean culture and social values is about cleanliness. Like, oh, maybe the slide before this. Nah, it's about cleanliness. So in Korea, cleanliness is more than just like a hygienic behavior. It is considered as like a social value that reflects your respect for others. Like you can see like in Korea, public spaces in Korea, like in bus station, train station, or like in public park, you will notice that those kind of places are always kept in pristine and clean condition because from for them, for like Korean people, it is a collective responsibility. Like, yes, for example, Han River is very, very clean. Like so those public places like river, parks, bus station, train station, they always are so clean because for Korean, it is a collective responsibility to keep those public places clean. And also connecting to that, littering is strictly socially unacceptable in Korea. And it is, if you litter, it's viewed as a lack of discipline and awareness. And a clean environment is seen as the visual representation of a respectful and orderly society. And about this littering aspect itself, for me, it is a behavior that not only you have to apply when you are in Korea. This is the kind of behavior that me personally think that you have to apply when you are in another country or even your own country, because littering is not a good behavior. It is a sign of like a bad behavior. By littering, you do not show a kind of like discipline as an individual. So it is very much a good thing to start building good behavior by, for example, by not littering. So I think this aspect of littering or this cleanliness as a social value as a whole is not only applicable in in South Korea, but it's also applicable to any other country in the world. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, now still connected to the cleanliness aspect, to maintain this cleanliness, Korea employs a very strict waste management system. It is not enough to just like find a bin or like a trash can and throw your trash there, but Korea employs like waste management that is very strict, where you must separate your waste in, I think, three general categories, like into food waste, recyclable waste, and also general waste. And this for Korea, it promotes environmental responsibility. And it is important to note that incorrect disposal of trash in Korea can result in fine. And again, I think this kind of rules not only apply in Korea, but I think other countries, like for example Singapore, also applies this kind of rules. Like if you find out, if you got find out that you litter in like public places, you will be fined a big amount of money. So you have to be very careful about this kind of behavior. Please do not litter. In not only in South Korea, I think it also again applies to any other country in the world, because it is not littering is building good behavior. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, now talking about before social current social interaction and the social values, you will also notice like kind of like daily habits that usually Korean locals do. And the slide before that. Can you go to the slide before the rundown slide? Okay, thank you. Yes, like if you will notice this kind of habits that Korean locals usually do, like if you travel, this kind of habits you will notice it, like for about trash bins, like you may find like fewer public trash can or bins in public places in Korea. So locals often carry their trash with them until they actually find a proper disposal point to throw away their trash. And I think this also you guys have to kind of like do when you visit Korea, because it is known that there is not many public trash can or public bins placed in Korean public spaces. So it is best that you guys also apply this kind of habits, that you have to carry your own trash in your own plastic bag, or put it in your pocket or whatever. Just please don't litter. It is very much not encouraged to litter, because again it is a bad behavior, and you have to also insert these certain habits to your daily behavior. And also about public transit, public transportation, and public places in general, you will notice like uh, trains and buses, like inside the train, inside buses, and again like public places like parks, it is always remarkably clean, and you guys have to also maintain that as a visitor. Not only it is the locals' responsibility, but you guys as a visitor also have to maintain this habit of not eating or drink in buses or like trains, so you will avoid like littering accidentally. And also about eating while walking is uncommon. So I think with these certain habits, I think it is not like a strict rules that you can eat while you're walking, but I know that it is very much kind of taboo thing to walk while you're eating in Korea, because I think another country that applies the kind of rules that very more strictly is like in Japan. Like in Japan, if you like visit like a food market or like a food festival, you will find people in place where they're eating. They are not talking because it is kind of like prohibited. And it is also applied in Korea, even though not as strictly, because it is much more respectful to just sit or like stand in place where when you enjoy your meal. So it is also to avoid like accidentally littering, right? Like if you eat something crumbly or like you eat something with sauce or anything that is very much easy to spill and you eating it while walking, you will accidentally litter and you will like making a mess in public. So it is very much encouraged to, when you're eating, please do not walk and just stay in place, like search a place to sit or just like stand in place and eat your food. And also, it the last thing is about public manners. Like you always have to be mindful about your manners in public, right? Like another, for example, when you use public transportation like buses or like trains, please be mindful of your talking volume. Like you may accidentally like talk too loud or like laugh too loud, and you have to be mindful of this kind of manners or like behavior. And also, for example, if you like look watching a video on your phone or like listening to music on your phone, please don't set the volume on high. If you want to listen to music or if you want to watch a video, please be mindful of other people that is in the same transportation as you, and either use earphone or like earbuds, or just set the volume on low so it does not disturb other people that is in the same public transportation as you. Okay, next. Okay, now I think that's all about like Korean cultures and also Korean social values that I can inform you guys. I very much encourage you, after this pre-orientation, you can do your own research, more like an extensive research about Korean cultures and Korean social values, because it is very important to understand them, especially when you visit a foreigner, so you can understand this mannerism and behavior even better, so you can enjoy your experience in Korea. So now that we have covered that topics, now we will go to the explanation about the rundown that will happen in the day of the Youth Summit. So we will be staying in Korea for 4 days, from February as the 2nd until February 5th. And on day 1, of course, it will be your arrival to Incheon Airport, and then we will be providing you with accommodation, airport pickup service that will take you to the hotel in Marina Bay Seoul, and then in the hotel you will be getting free time on the first day. Okay, next slide. Now, for the second day, we will have a full day of city tour. So we will begin by having breakfast in the hotel, and then after that, we will be heading to Korea University for a university tour, and then after that, we will go have lunch at a restaurant, and then after that, we will visit many places. For example, like Bukchon Hanok Village, Myeongdong Street, duty free shop, and after that, we'll be having dinner. And moving on to day 3. Can we go to the next slide? And day 3 is very much the highlights of the Korean Summit. It is like the most important day, and we will be having like a full summit on this day. There will be a full group presentation and discussion, and we'll also having international symposium, and also by the end of the day, we will be having like a celebratory awarding night. And then on our last day, can go to the next slide. it will be our final day in Korea, and it will be a final day of our Korea Youth Summit. And then we will begin it by breakfast and also handing you guys a certificate of participation. And then we will go to check out, and then there will be another airport pickup airport service that we will provide you to take you from the hotel to the airport. Okay, I think that's all. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, I think that's all from the presentation for me today. Once again, thank you for your participation in today's pre-orientation, and thank you so much for your attention. Again, I very much encourage you to do more extensive research on today's topic about Korean cultures and also social values, so you guys can better understand the importance of it, so you can also heighten your experience while you're visiting Korea for our Korea Youth Summit 2026. I think that's all for me. Thank you, guys. I'm handing it back to Karisma.
Okay, thank you very much for this very insightful knowledge, actually. But please give us the warm applause again, everyone. Okay, so such a very mindful knowledge from the hierarchy and the cleanliness, and also for the rundown. But before we open the Q&A session, maybe we would like to photo session first. So please, everyone, maybe you want to turn on your camera, so we can see you each others. Okay, so everyone, maybe you can turn on your camera before we try to this photo session. Okay. Okay, maybe the YBB team could help us to screenshot the screen. Okay, we will start from the first screen actually. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And from the second screen. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, anyone, thank you very much for your considering on turning up the cameras. Okay, so we would like to open the Q&A session. So anyone that that has a question, maybe you can write on the comment below on the section or raise your hand, or maybe you can just ask directly to Miss Catherine. Okay, the first question is from Semper Carmen Carolina from Mexico. I would like to read the question. Hello, sorry, I have a small question. Does the breakfast and meals are provided in the hotel?
Okay, thank you so much, Sanjeri, for your question. Okay, so about breakfast, it is provided for day 2, day 3, and day 4. We will provide you breakfast at the hotel. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Miss Catherine. Any other question? Okay, thank you. Okay, since we are waiting for the next question, I would like to actually very curious about Miss Sania Amjad, who is very well detailed about the Han River or about the trash bag or the cleanliness in the Korea. Maybe you can share your talk about have you ever been to Korea before, or
I have never been to Korea. Hello, how are you? Both of you, you're doing good. I've never been to Korea, but I'm a huge Korean culture fan, actually. I love that. I really would like to add something. I know you did an amazing presentation, but I would like to add that like people should know a few phrases of Korean, like 안녕하세요, 감사합니다. And when you go to like eat at restaurants, you should always raise your hand and say 저기요 to them. So yeah, that's how that was a like, since I love Korean culture, so I know all about it as I've done my research about it. That's what it is. Thank you.
Okay, that's a very wonderful knowledge. I guess everyone knows the Korean culture, but maybe yes, I'm okay. Maybe Miss Sunny mentioned. Do you like K-pop also, maybe, or just the Korean culture?
I'm actually an original K-pop fan as well, and the K-dramas fan. So that brought me into K-pop, K culture actually.
Okay, from my personal opinion, I actually agree that Korean culture is very wonderful, right? So I'm also the fan of Korean culture and K-drama, and also
Yeah,
the
I think they're very innovative and creative in their own way.
I do really agree with you. Thank you very much for your insightful
Thank you.
presentation. Thank you. Okay, so for the other question is from Farisara, Thailand. Hello. Are the results for the fully funded recipients will announce today?
Okay, thank you, Farisaya. Thank you, Farisara, for your question. Okay, about the fully funded announcement, it will be around the end of the year, at the end of December. So just stay tuned. The announcement will be sent through your email, and we will also announce it on our Instagram if when it is announced. So just stay tuned on your email and Instagram. It is will be announced either this week or next week. So please stay tuned. By the end of December, we will announce it.
Okay, so just stay tuned on our official website. Yeah, let's gather it. Okay, anyone want to ask question, or maybe you would like to share anything about today's session? We are very open to hear all of your thoughts, everyone. So please, you can turn on your mic, maybe. When will be the selection result be announced?
Oh yeah, Sanya, as like just the same answer as the previous question. The result of like the fully funded will be announced by the end of December. So either this week or next week. So you can always check your emails or check our Instagram so you know when will it be announced. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Catherine. So, since there is no question again, okay, so I would like to thank you very much for our speaker today, for the insightful knowledge that you have already shared, and also for the participant that already active in this session, and also from the team that helped us to operate the PowerPoint. Thank you very much. We hope that this kind of session will help you to guide prepare the Korean Summit on February or the other session. Okay, thank you very much. You can leave the Zoom. Bye-bye. Good afternoon, everyone.